I'm going to show you guys how to put cams in Kawasaki V-Twin 750 T-Rex Brute. I just happened to be building one for a guy, and I thought when I got to the cams, installing the cams, I'd show you guys how to do it. Obviously, can't show you how to take it apart, but you know, that's the easy part, but putting everything back in line is the hard part. Okay, right here is your inspection hole on the flywheel. And inside here, you're gonna rotate this flywheel till you get what I call the TR mark. We're gonna start on the rear cylinder. Okay, so instead of trying to get the camera in the hole where you can see, which is really hard to do, I took a scrap piece of paper over there, and what you're gonna find on the flywheel is what I call a TR mark. As you rotate, and this circle represents this, so it's kind of like so. And actually, the cutout. There's a cutout. If you look in the threads right down at the bottom, you're going to see a little cutout, okay? I actually put it in the wrong place on the drawing, but nonetheless, there's a mark on the flywheel that looks like a T sitting on top of an R. And that T portion needs to be right in the middle of that cut that's at, we'll call it 3 o'clock mark in the hole, okay? So, we're going to start on the rear cylinder. I've already rotated my engine to this is top dead center rear. Okay, so I'm going to grab my rear cam. A quick thing, if you ever mix up your cams, like, you know, whatever, let me show you how to tell the difference. See how that right there has a groove in it? And this one does not? The groove is the rear cam. Okay, another thing that you're going to see on these cams is you have a mark, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and a point to the sky. Now these will move with the counterweights. By the way, just if you want to, how you get decompression, you got a pin right there, and when I move these, you see it moves out of the way. So when your motor's running, your cams are out like this. That's your decompression pin. So I got it on top dead center. I've already put a little lube in my cam journals, and I'm going to just simply stretch the chain around the counterweights to begin with. Put the cam in there kind of, well, I'm trying to do it in a hurry. Okay, so I get it about where I want it, sitting there with it on the counterweights, and then I just pull the cam over a little bit and then put the chain, and put my chain on. Alright, now after I do that, I decide whether my marks are lined up. You want to use the 3 o'clock mark here, 9 here, 3 here, and you point straight up, 90 degrees. Well, mine's off a little bit, even when I press on the cam. So it looks like I'm a tooth off to the rear. So I'm going to reposition my chain, rotate it 1 spot. Hopefully I didn't just do it 2. And put her back on. I got it where I think it should go. I'm going to verify my mark. The battery's about dead in my flashlight. TR. We'll rotate it back and forth, get it recentered, double check everything. I'm good. My marks are at 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock. My cam's in. So I'm good to go. Okay, now I don't put my rocker box cover on yet, and I go to my front cylinder because sometimes I get distracted, sometimes I get a phone call, and then I do this one and I forget where I'm at over here, so I just leave it exposed till I get it lined up. Now I've got a screwdriver, let me rotate you around. I got a screwdriver over here keeping the chain from binding up. Alright, so here's the critical part, because it's real easy to get one cam in and have a 180 degree out because you rotated the crank the wrong way. So what you're going to do is you're going to rotate it clockwise, which is turning the motor backwards. It's 270 degrees, but basically it's till you see the TF mark. And it looks just like that TR, except it's got an F instead of an R. Alright, I'm on a TF mark. And then I'm going to pull that out. Grab this. I've already wiped this down, got excess lube off of it. Same thing. Put the chain over the counterweights. Of course, if you're putting performance cams in, this gets a little more tricky because you don't have these flyweights with the marks on it, and you're going to have to go only off of that arrow. And at times I have used like a framing square that a carpenter would use and put up on the head to where I would know where my mark is. I mean, sometimes you got to get a little inventive. I always use a little prick, or pick, not a prick, that's what I am. Like I said, now, one of the aggravating things about this is sometimes they're not right on the money. So you'll have a mark a little bit off. And what I usually do is I go one direction or the other. Make it move a tooth, see if it's too far, because it'll fool you. So mine is really close right here, but I'm going to double check it by moving a tooth the other direction to see if I'm too far. Okay, I guess there's no need in skipping some of the aggravation. Is what I just told you. You might be off a little bit, and then actually you'll take it off, think you moved it, and you put it right back where it was. I've just done it 3 times, and I do this all the time. So don't get aggravated. So what I just did is, just so I can verify that I actually am moving it, I've put me a mark on my cam and my chain, and I'm going to take it off once again and move it forward. And this way, this time I know for sure that I moved it. Okay, so that's obvious, out of whack. So I'm going to go right back to my original position. Okay, and then lastly, I'm going to double check where we're at. Okay, TF marked right in the center. Believe it or not, sometimes these cuts are narrow, sometimes they're wider. Okay, we're on the money. Alright, so now we got our both cams in. If you're going to put a rocker box cover on, go ahead and put this one on, and then just rotate your motor clockwise back to the rear, and we'll start on that one for adjusting valves, but you can just get it close, put your cover on the rear, and all. I don't need showing you guys how to put your covers on or new cam adjusters in, and all. So, like I said, you can do that. If you took them out, you can put them in. So the next little video is how to adjust valves. So that's cam install. And I'll rehash. You want to start on the rear, get all your marks lined up, rotate your motor clockwise, which is backwards, is towards the rear of the vehicle to the TF mark. Then do your front. Like I said, it's my recommendations, leave your covers off till you're done. And then when you get your front one on, go ahead and put your cover on here. If you want to, you can go ahead and adjust valves there. This is a little different scenario than just starting from scratch for adjusting valves. So put your rocker box cover on here, adjust these valves, rotate it forward the way the motor goes back to the TR mark, put your rocker box cover on and adjust those valves. So the next little video about adjusting valves, it'll be just like you already had everything on, never done this before, starting from scratch for adjusting valves. And hopefully I haven't confused you. If I have, then this video wasn't worth poop. But if you need me, give me a call here at Hunter Works. Thanks. I wanted to show you guys on this cam deal about, I thought I was going to end this cam video, so if the translation here or whatever, the videos are kind of messed up, this is why. Anyway, here's a front cam adjuster, and you see it's got a little spring-loaded lock on it. And so when you put in your new cam, I want you to push this back where you can run it. See, without it, it won't go back in. Mash it. Don't go all the way, but go almost all the way. Now the reason I say don't go all the way, because I've had one of these get locked up, and you get a lot of valve train noise, you can't figure out where it's coming from, and it's this. Alright, so I put that in, take our two 8mm screws, torque that to spec. Then you get your pin and your spring. Put the spring down in there, drop the pin. Now this is what I always do to make sure that it come out. When I put my cap on, I listen real close for it going tick, tick, tick. I'm hard of hearing, so let me listen in. Alright, I heard it. Click. You're not going to hear it on the camera. Get it started with your fingers, and then simply tighten it up. Now, let me give you a little trick on the other one if you got it. Now, when you're putting in those, putting in your front adjuster, which is in a bad spot, you got a couple choices: an 8mm wrench, or what I use is a 6" quarter-inch extension with an 8" wobble, and then I kind of start them with my fingers, and I can come in with a ratchet over here from the side, and then you might want to back it up with an 8mm wrench to get it tight. So basically, do the rear one the same as the front one. Now I'm in the middle of building this motor back, listening to do that adjust valve video. So anyway, that's in something I'm adding to it.